like a list of collections that are out there. I only know how to find it if I have the link to the actual collection.
No,
Or if I
you
made it.
actually just have to make a new one. You just have to make a new collection. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I can make it if you want me to. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't one already because I didn't know how to verify.
Yeah. No problem. I muted Danny. Poor Danny, always getting muted by me. Okay. I think there was a direct link. Julian, you have the direct link at your hand to make a collection. You happen to have that lying around somewhere? Wait, what? $3 plus to deploy lock on base? Is base
today
freaking
it was
insane?
cheaper to deploy or send a transaction on Ethereum mainnet than on Base. I don't know what's happening.
I had this actually a little bit over a month ago as well. I was doing a test lock on Base to test the Phoenix Scanner app, and I had the same not the same cost or problem, but it was incredibly high, and I was like, okay, I need to get this done now, right? So I just did it, but like there are spikes on Base that are just insane. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't recommend people using Base. Like for several reasons, but that is just one other reason.
Yeah, that was really crazy. I couldn't believe it. I thought something was wrong with my contract or something because it was working, and suddenly I just started seeing that, and I was like, okay, no. I had to go to like the Unlock website and try other networks, and for Arbitrum it was less than a cent. Optimism, all of the other ones, they were normal, and Base was just crazy.
I mean, I said this a while ago in a little subgroup that Trix and I are in, but I think Base is gonna take a route that none of us will like. But it's my personal opinion. Anyways, Nicholas, hi, welcome. Thibaut is here too. Louis, Disky, Will, welcome. Awesome. So we're already live. So I give it over to Trix, and then we can chime in occasionally.
All right, thank you. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you here for another weekly call. And this is the first of the month, so it is our monthly roundup. It came kind of quick this time around because we didn't have the full suite of meetings last week. But that's all right. Now I got the link. Hopefully, you guys all see it there for the unlock badge. So make sure you go grab that. I just reused the little. What's this guy? What's his name? Lock. Why can't I remember his name? What's his name, Stella? The little guy.
Pad the lock. It's so obvious. It's so freaking obvious.
Yeah. I just reused Pad the Lock again because obviously he needs more exposure to get accepted into the unlock zeitgeist. So we'll continue to push that every month until we get a better or different image. At least there couldn't possibly be a better image to put up, but if we get a different image for the monthly calls, we might not keep using it. But yeah, so I guess we'll jump into things right off the bat. We have first DAO update. So we are on the continual quest for quorum. The proposal that is currently up is doing fantastic. We have a massive turnout of people. So everybody's boots on the ground effort is paying off. Good work. Continue pushing. Let's see how many people we can get voting on this. This might be, let's start off 2026 with a record-breaking DAO vote. That would be fantastic. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. We had some questions that came up over the course of the last few weeks while we've been working on this. And some of them have to do with Tally itself. So I don't know if maybe anybody here has any input on this, if they know the answer, or if not, we need to get the answer to this. But the question is if you abstain from, if you vote with an abstain, does it count towards quorum, or does quorum only count for votes or against votes individually? I guess is the active question.
Unless Julian actually does know the answer, which could be an option.
Go ahead.
Unless he knows. So if you don't know, I would just reach out to the Tally guys, because I have them on Telegram in a private group.
I think I knew, and I was going to say no, but let me quickly ask ChatGPT to confirm. They do count toward the quorum. Okay, cool. I did not know that. Quorum is checked again, 4 votes plus abstain votes, and against votes are not included in the quorum. So it's 4 plus abstain that are in the quorum.
Okay.
So we're good.
So that's helpful. I'm glad that it's set up that way. That's the way I usually understand it to be, for the explicit purpose of one of the use case that we're looking at here is we want to activate treasury tokens to be able to push us towards quorum for votes that need to get passed that we're not getting, community participation. Less of a concern with the turnout that we're starting to see right now. This is looking good, so maybe this issue will resolve itself and we don't have to deal with it. But if we do, we have the option. We have 2 options for how the DAO tokens can be used. One option that Danny's been pursuing is the delegation function, so that active stewards could have DAO tokens delegated to them, so that there's just a little bit of extra weight behind stewards without them having to carry the financial responsibility of owning that weight. And then the other option would be for the DAO tokens, for the stewards to use the multisig to vote with DAO tokens to abstain, so that whatever the DAO votes for, as far as yes, just gets passed, without having to meet quorum by itself. Those are kind of the 2 different paths. So we can continue discussing that. Stella, I see your hand is up. Do you want to jump in on this topic?
I guess I was the most critical one, because your abstain idea came in last, which is actually a super good idea, because then we're not swaying a vote, right? Because that was my biggest fear. Like, we have come all of this way to this point in history to actually create a lot of trust between all of these people in a trustless system, and then we use votes that were essentially put in our care to do something very different with, right? And potentially sway a community vote. That was like the biggest fear I had with this. I was the first one jumping in the chat like, no, we can't do this. And then your idea came in with the abstain. I was like, okay, let's first try if we can motivate enough people. If we really, really fail with that and we can't, then the next proposal should probably be to lower quorum, right? So we can healthily reach quorum whenever we actually have to make an on-chain decision. And so the use case would be a one-time use case, ideally, not a continuous use case either, right? But yeah, I really like that abstain idea, because it's not going to sway a vote. That was something that I was extremely fearful of, because I think then, we have spent like 2 years building enormous trust within this community. And you do this is the thing with trust. You do one shitty thing, people will forget about all the good stuff that has been done, right? If you do one thing for the wrong reasons. And I did not want to jeopardize this. So I'm really happy you had this marvelous, epiphany. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about this. I think this is a potential solution, but ideally we actually have 34,000 token holders. So guys, if you hear us right now, please use your tokens to actually cast some votes, right? Because that actually goes a much longer way, because seeing that amount of voter participation in our community, I've never seen this. I've been in this now. Julian has been in this for a much longer time. I'm not even sure he has seen that. So anyway.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show that hard work pays off. We've been putting a lot of effort into the DAO over the last couple of years. And Stella, you've definitely been leading the charge on most of that. And now we get to reap the fruits of that. We have an active, we have a token holder base that has, varying degrees of activity, but we're seeing right now just how many people are actually still paying attention. And to be clear, paying attention means having someone in the DAO active enough to know when to come get you when you're needed. So, being a DAO member doesn't mean that you have to show up to every call. You have to log into Discord every day and just, constantly put your time and energy into it. It just means being willing to respond to a call to action and having a path to receiving the call to action when the DAO pushes it out. And part of pushing that out is DAO members going out there and just boots on the ground, chasing people down, poke, poke, poke. Hey, there's a vote that needs your attention. Go vote. And here we are. It's working. So congratulations to the DAO. All right. Well, we will continue on after that very interesting and intricate DAO trust discussion. I'm glad that we're moving forward with that one. It's been a big struggle. Speaking of moving forward with things that have required a massive amount of work, Metopia is now live. I don't know if we want to jump to that topic next. It's on the agenda. Cece, I'm guessing you have things to share with us.
Yeah, sure. Really excited with this collaboration with Metopia. For those who don't know what Metopia is and what are we collaborating with, Metopia is an on-chain reputation platform where people can learn and earn while they learn. So the collaboration that we are making with them is to onboard more people into the protocol, to start using the protocol, learn how and what kind of uses people can do to with Unlock, and also earn some tokens while they are learning or in the process. So, as a reward system, we are going also to give out some tokens through Metopia. So then people can not only learn people can just not only learn just because of learning, but also engage in the DAO with the DAO to participate because they will be also token holders. So that's what we have launched with them, and now we are going to socialize more about all what we are doing with them. So starting today, we are reminding basically what is basically the Metopia and Unlock collaboration, and the next weeks we will be also just posting more content about what's unlocked, how they can use the protocol, and obviously through Metopia start learning, earning some tokens, and having fun with this fun activity.
Yay! Yeah, I'm excited for people to have fun with this, and really looking forward to getting feedback from people. So please jump in, follow the links. We've got links on all of our socials, in the Discord, and the announcements. Wherever you consume your Unlock updates, make sure you chase down the link for the Metopia project and jump in there and see what opportunities there are for you to learn and share your experience back with us. The goal of this is to be interactive, not just one direction. Everything is about community participation. So your input will shape the future of Metopia. So let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like, how it can be improved, what you would like to contribute, possibly. All of these things. And we'll continue to grow this experiment together as a DAO. Rewards for learning opportunities and participation, I think, are really important. This is a development of that social context of the DAO. We have the on-chain governance component, which we're experiencing right now, the importance of that, right? Like that's a very significant part of the DAO. But these kind of softer reputational layers, I think, add so much more flavor to the work that we're doing that can make governance more interesting in the future. That's really the goal of all of these experiments that we're testing out, is to make governance more interesting, more relevant, more contextual, so we don't have to run into the kind of types of problems that we do with just really bland one layer token governance, which is so common in DAOs. So this is all an evolution of improving that experience. So yeah, jump in, participate, and be a part of the future.
Yes.
Next thing we will. Oh, did you have other updates that you want to throw in, CC? Or I think
we are still working on the incentive campaign that I'm sure we will be covering a little bit later. But yeah, that, and shortly you will see some posts highlighting things that are being happening in the Web2 world because of artist concerts that are impacted because of centralized systems, which is something that we are focused on. So we want to bring this to the attention of everybody. And so that way we can also bring the solution within that kind of problem that they are experimenting. So, yeah, that's basically what we are now. And we also have covered that in the marketing working group call today. So, yeah, exciting times for Web3 giving solutions right now to the world.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And great segue. We will now transition into the incentive topics. Sven, thanks for joining us again. We are excited to hear about updates since last week and new things happening with incentive. So yeah, we'll let you kind of kick it off if you have some things to talk about, and then we'll keep digging into it.
Yeah, always cool to be here. Last week I was very late. I think I joined 4 minutes before the end or something. But yeah, very, very, very excited about the participation, as you all are, because that was like I think what many were concerned about. So hopefully that keeps going well. And I'm mainly here to make sure that you guys have a chance to ask questions on, as we are getting, if we're assuming the vote goes through, let's just assume that, right? Then I'm here to make sure we have all the questions covered for the incentive campaign at the setup. I think we did a decent amount of work pre-setting it up. The plan seems pretty solid. I think everyone liked it. Conversations in the Discord are ongoing. So that's my number one priority. Just look at me as a sounding board. If anything is still unclear or someone doesn't even know about incentive yet. In short, I just started using this phrase today. It's sort of a launch pad for incentive programs that are very highly configurable. And we are planning quite a campaign for you guys to create videos, short form videos for Unlock, right? And that being said, what's new on our side is we just launched a website, which is already planned to be updated in my head again. But if anyone is having a look at incentive.co, feedback's always welcome, good, bad, or otherwise. But I do think it is a vast improvement from the one before, if you have seen that. And also thanks to Stella, because she's always a good friend and sounding board for making sure people like me, who are tending to be on the engineering side, don't being more story driven. So that really helps a lot, because I'm not selling this stuff to myself, right? And what else is going on? I mean, there's so much going on actually at Incentive. Lots of improvements in the background on the product side itself. So if anyone ever wants a tour, also looking behind the scenes, like what you guys will be working with as the people who are setting up these programs, we can do that anytime as we prepare for the launch of this. I'm very excited. to show all of that. Oh, why is that favicon broken in the preview? Don't like that. Stella, you're an expert on that now, right? We'll connect about that later.
It works on mine. Oh wait, the favicon, that's like the little tiny one, right?
Yeah, just on the metadata. I don't know.
Yeah, Stella hopefully has solved all those problems. She can probably DM you the solutions.
Yeah. And besides Incented itself, some of you know we are also organizing the Carrot Castle, which is a side kind of activation we are doing during ETH Boulder and ETH Denver this year. We have 2 houses. So if anyone is going to either of those events, shoot me a message. Love to hang out in the real world. And if you need a place to stay that is more than a hotel room, we still have, I think, 1 room in Boulder and 2 in Denver, I believe. It's not the cheapest room to stay, I will say that up front, but we will have hot tubs, saunas, poker games, foods, drinks, all the good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, well, last year was definitely an experience to remember. So if Carrot Castle 2.0 is going to be anything like the first one, I can't imagine you regretting the experience. It'll be worth every penny. Something about having the right people in the right place at the right time. It just it's perfect. And that's what the Carrot Castle does, in my opinion. So give it a look if you are going to those events. And I'm sure there'll be an unlock ticket for you to engage with somehow. I don't know if that's, we did that last year. I don't know if we did it again this year.
Shamefully, we did not. Right?
No.
You can't actually buy the room straight up. This year, I was just like, okay, you just need to apply, quote unquote. Then I get an email and we hop on a 15-minute call to do a vibe check. Because the point of the Carrot Castle is that it's not just a place to crash. We want to make sure that people who want to stay there actually have the intent of having deeper conversations, hanging out, making long-lasting relationships. So good example of the type of Web3 person that may not be the very best fit is if you are just a day trader and you're chasing meme coins every day. That's not exactly the crowd at the Carrot Castle, but it should be pretty fun. There's a couple of people. We have Adam is going to come back. He has a full day planned for Marshall Island themed events from lunch to midnight, probably. Like I mentioned, the poker game. In Boulder, there's a focus more on the creative side because that's co-organized with Artisan. Lots of good stuff. Should be fun.
Cool. Awesome. So getting back to Incented, I don't know if Will, I see you've got your hand up. Let's pop to you. I don't know whatever your question is about. It could be about either topic. Go ahead, and then we'll keep digging into Incented.
Not a question, but an offer to this community. So I'm local to Denver. Some of you know that, some of you don't. For those that don't know that, depending on the time of day that you're coming into town, there may be an opportunity for me to pick you up from the airport and get you to your accommodation safely. So that is one of the services I offer as a host. When you come into my city for blockchain events, get in my DMs. You guys, most of you know how to contact me. So yeah, depending on time of day, there might be an opportunity for that. If I can save you a little bit on Uber or Lyft, because they're very extractive and predatory here. Since DIA is now one of the top 3 busiest airports in the United States. Besides, we're going to have a great conversation along the way too. And who better to transport you to your accommodations than a familiar face?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say the best ride share that you can get at ETH Denver is comes with free consulting advice from Will T. He will talk to you about his project, your project, other people's projects, whatever interesting thing you want. He's probably got some insight that will be valuable. So it's more than just a ride. Thanks, Will T. All right. So with that being said, if anybody has any questions or anything about Incented, I'm going to kick off one question. Something that I was thinking about, and this is classic Triggs, has nothing to do with the current campaign. Sorry, it's not helpful for right now, but just future ideas for the DAO to think about as we're participating in this video campaign for making creative videos. I was wondering if there would be interest in the DAO to experiment with our budget for some of the roles that used to be part of the steward thing that are now being delegated to more of like an ad hoc. As you contribute, the DAO will consider what the contribution's worth, kind of thing. Incented could be a fun platform for incentivizing these types of participations. I don't know how exactly we would set up the campaign, but I was thinking like one of the things that we talked about wanting to continue funding was these DAO calls. And I'm currently hosting the DAO call and putting in, the time for putting the agenda together in the monthly newsletter. But there's not really real clarity on what exactly that's worth to the DAO. And Incented could be an interesting platform to use to come up with values for participations like hosting this DAO call or running the monthly newsletter or other things that the DAO wants to have done, but doesn't necessarily have like a strict budget for it or a way to create a budget for it. I don't know, just something I was thinking about.
So go ahead, I'll hop in here real quick. Obviously, I would love to do that for you guys with Incented. I will stay on the sideline of making the decision if that should be done or not. But but as you're talking about this, I want to highlight one possible configuration for an incentive program that I think would work well for something like that, where, if I hear you correctly, you want to experiment with what kinds of things should be funded and with how much. So we have the possibility to spin up a split proportional type of program. What that means is, if you, let's just imagine this type of fund this month type of thing, everyone in the DAO can submit whatever they think should be rewarded. We actually have two ways of doing that, but I think the split proportional is the interesting one. So you submit your weekly reports or something, and a few other people submit their things, and then the voters decide on how much they get rewarded based on how much each, how many votes each receive. Net positive votes, right? We can always vote for and against that incentive. So that way you could have, like, you could do it during these calls, for example, right? Where you just say, we do this on a weekly, monthly basis, and we have $100 per week, per month, whatever it is, that we want to split across all of the submissions that come in. And how you split them is just by the voting weight itself, essentially. But of course, you can also configure fixed prices or milestone based, where you let the people request how much they think it should be worth, actually. But I think the split proportional is kind of the let's experiment with what the people think should be rewarded piece that we would be using there.
Cool. Yeah, I like it. That sounds fun. All right, so stuff to think about. Like I said, future campaigns. Right now, the campaign is focused on video content creation. Cece, you want to jump in?
Yeah, just a short question from my side to this point. So as a split, we would say that, let's say 5 people have sent their contributions, and people start voting. So in the order of how many votes everybody has received, the amount is going to be split for the 5, or not, or how does this split proportion would really work for all the people that have sent their contributions?
Yeah, good question. So this is the downside of Incentive, because we built something that's way too flexible to explain quickly. Too many dials. But like we would need to decide on how many people we want to reward first, right? So that you have two options. You can either say anyone who is above a quorum, say 51% of the net votes received. So that way, everyone above that would surface as a winner. And then we talk about how we split the money with the split proportional is actually exactly how you just said, but it depends on who we decide how many should be rewarded in the first place, right? Like, how do you select the winners is the first thing, and then how do you reward the winners is the second. So you can either have the quorum, or you could just say every cycle we want to reward 5, and then it would be split proportional to the amount of net positive votes they received. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll plop in a link to our documentation page here as well.
Yeah, awesome. Also, another question, because today I was sharing about this proposal to some of our contributors, our stable contributors that we have had during 2025. And they are excited about the opportunity and the new mechanism, and also the possibility of getting rewarded in stable coins. But also they have some comments. And Soho said, okay, so let's say, because I have like worked around this content, and obviously it was time, it was energy, it was many things invested in making sure that this content reaches the quality to be considered as a contribution. And because of the voting, this could also affect the me as a content contributor, she says. So what happens if on the voting time and system, as always, it gets into this, how can we say, uh, popularity contest, of making sure that definitely just only the some few people really gets the votes, and some other don't. And especially with the new contributors that could arise. And also the other question that she has is, are we enough mature enough of having enough people to participate in the, not only in the DAO, but also as content evaluators of what is going to be good as quality for the protocol. So that's also another concern that she has. I'm leaving these questions open for everyone to jump in and give an answer, please.
Maybe I can give this one a go, because I gave this actually some thought just by myself, because I was like, how can we guarantee that we get content that actually hits the mark we want, and not like a bunch of content, but a bunch of content that doesn't get us anywhere. So I was thinking, when I was starting to, do all of the experimentation with my TikTok account in the last few weeks, I discovered an app that's actually free. Comes with a free tier as well. There is a paid tier, but the main one is free. And it's called like Go Viral or something like this. And what this app does, it specifically analyzes like vertical video formats, right? And their feasibility on TikTok, like how will they probably perform. So it's an AI tool that does all the work, right? And it gives you very detailed feedback on many different aspects of a short form video, right? That you have to consider when making that type of content. And first of all, it's been incredibly helpful to me. And the cool thing is, so after you have had your first analysis, you can re-upload a corrected version. And so essentially the tool has context, right? It has your original context, and then it sees the updated context and can give you even feedback on that again. But I think we should use that tool to give it to content contributors and even add screenshots to their submissions with that tool, right? Because I think everything that's under a 50% of potential virality should not even be considered. Because I did some testing with videos I found on TikTok. I illegally downloaded them and I put them in the app to see like what the tool would give us, right? And the tool said like, this is a no-no, right? This is 100% no-no. And it was a no-no, right? It's something you post and you not only get no traction, but potentially people will start unfollowing you. So that's content we obviously want to avoid, right? So I think by giving, I mean, you suggested before that we do office hours going along with the incentive program. I think that's a really good idea, and I'm happy to do it. Maybe not every time, maybe, once upon a time, other people can jump in as well. But I think giving these types of tools, especially if they're free to creators, and say like, hey, check if you even get above a 50%. If you don't get above a 50% in reality potential, then this is not the quality we need, right? So for example, I remember last year there were some videos that were beyond a minute. Minute is just too long. If you don't give like value every second of that minute, retention span is just like, it goes down immediately, right? Like doing short form videos is literally, it's an art form by itself. And we need to make sure that the creators who are participating or willing to join that experiment, that they actually have the tools to also learn and improve, right? So yes, this is for us as, Unlock DAO. This is where it's supposed to bring value, but at the same time, we need to give value back, right? And that is not just in up tokens. We need to give creators the opportunity to learn through this, learn about Unlock, learn about how to become better at content creation, and potentially create a secondary income through that or whatever, right? But I think this goes like, this is not just a one-way street, is what I'm trying to say. We have to think more like 180 degrees in that sense.
I like that direction a lot. And Sven, we'll jump to you. I'll just interject a little thought before I forget, because I will. But it sounds to me like there might be a potential crossover for Metopia and the incentive program. Perhaps we could have a Metopia process for showing people how to use these tools that we recommend. And there could even be like a badge that shows that you've gone through the Metopia course to understand what type of content we're looking for and what guidelines we're going to use to judge that content. If we're going to use an AI tool, enable people to use that tool themselves so that they can be more prepared, or something like that. And maybe the incentive program could then be gated, like once you've completed the Metopia process, you now have access to submit content to the incentive program or something like that. But I am curious if there's a secondary component to that, CC, because from one part of your question, I think is addressed by this in terms of like making sure people's effort is going towards something valuable. But is there, the other side of it is kind of the popularity contest aspect of it. I don't know if this is what Sven was going to get into or not, but okay, good. Yeah, so I guess we'll just go to Sven and let you talk about it.
Yeah, so these are all good points. First of all, I like the quality requirement. So these should be added to the campaigns, right? Very clearly defined, like here is what we're expecting you, not just what kind of content, but also here's how we are planning on evaluating. Because like the campaign description needs to consider both sides of the coin, right? Like the contributors, but also the evaluators. They may or may not be the same people. So I think that a tool like that would be perfect if there is a scoring tool, and like literally include that in the description. If you want to be considered to even be voted on, it needs to be above 50%. And just, we don't need to automate this, actually, I don't think at all. I think just having that burden on the creator side, if they don't do it, then it'll be pretty obvious pretty quick. And what's built into Incentive today to address both of these questions a little bit is so the carrot and stick mechanism itself. And I'll get to that in detail, because that addresses the popularity contest and what do evaluators get, right? But the other thing is that you can hide votes, basically. Voting is hidden if you want to. It can be selectively open. It can be statistics only, like this is how many votes were received, but not for or against or by who, right? So it's all flexible. But for most cases, hidden voting is the key, really. I know it seems counterintuitive to the Web3 ethos in many ways, but that's the simple answer on how you avoid popularity contests, right? Bandwagoning. If you don't see what's going on, I hear someone already saying, it's like, well, they could back channel and collude in the background. Of course, we can never solve for all of this, right? But the amount of rewards we're talking about, it's relatively unlikely that people spend hours and hours trying to collude for it. right? So that's kind of working in the favor. And then the carrot and stick mechanism itself is incentivizing and disincentivizing curation, voting by itself throughout the entire program, right? So that's really what Incented is bringing to the table, because we understand that curation is work and it should be rewarded, and but only if you're making informed decisions, right? Like I would imagine this room today, if the program was live and you guys would evaluate together, you'd all make informed evaluations. But since there is an incentive to be gained by just voting, we need to make sure that you actually need to make a choice that is your conviction, right? You're voting either your conviction or your desire of the existence of whatever you're voting on. It's the two things usually. And if you're making a wrong decision, you get slashed, right? Like your stake, your vote gets slashed. That is also configurable, like everything in Incented. Couple percentage points up to 100%, right? Depends on the program you're launching.
Yeah, I like that description of the problem space. It really does put the onus, and I like a lot of these discussions we're having around Incented. Keep coming back to it. Puts the onus on us as participants and as evaluators and sponsors of the program. To be very clear and specific and intentional with how, it is a sandbox, right? So we have to set it up the way that we want and test for the desired outcomes. So I think that an important takeaway from this is that we need to evaluate this iteratively, right? Like with each campaign, we have to retroactively go back and look and see, was there something overlooked? Did good content get missed because of some oversight or didn't get brought to attention in the right way, or what? We'll have to look for these ways that the social context, kind of fails us, even if the mechanism is functioning as designed and intended, right? And then we can modify the mechanism, not because the tool was wrong, but because the way that we configured it or the way that we promoted it or those types of things, that we can modify as we go and really custom tailor the experience to the way the Unlock community kind of responds to the mechanisms. So yeah, I think that's good. If nobody has any further questions about Incented, I do want to keep moving along. We've got a couple more topics. Stella has a couple of updates for us. I don't know if we can run to those real quick, and then we'll get to community updates.
Yeah, just two quick ones. So we've been making some progress with the people from Green Pill Dev Guild, and specifically the Green Goods team, and our co-campaign with them and Cello. So we have kind of like designed, I want to say, a spread over a 2-month content calendar. Probably going to start, I want to say, end of February with this. It's a lot of it's well thought through, kind of like, almost like a storytelling kind of content calendar. So it starts from like the basic announcements of Unlock is integrated with Cello from the Cello account, to eventually working towards a webinar with everyone and showcasing Green Goods, how it works, like how Unlock is implemented and that it works on Cello, right? And Ceci and I were talking about it this morning in a marketing meeting as well, with the other guys, that this could potentially serve also as a template, which I think is a very, very good and interesting thought, because this is like, it's a layer 2, right? It's a protocol and it's an actual use case. This is actually quite a beautiful triptychon to show to people and say like, okay, this is the infrastructure, this is the tooling, and then, this is what you can build with it. So, I think it tells a story, which is quite nice. And so if this works as well as we currently think it will, because everyone seems to be really on board with everything, and people have already started to commit amongst the people that are being announced, Kid Blake, Afo, Charlie Havens from Cello, right? People have already committed to producing some of the content. So the work is also being split, which makes this less heavy. And then the idea is to Yes, man, I know. I'm always saying this. I'm so annoying. So the idea is also to spread this over a good amount of time, so people really have a chance to catch up to it, right? Throughout, like, essentially steadily and consistently cutting through the noise is the motto here. And I think it's probably going to be a very exciting campaign, to be honest. That was update number 1. Update number 2 is Phoenix Gate is live on test flight, and it actually does work. Let's see how good it works. So I'm selecting, now I need to see, I think I'm selecting Optimism blockchain. I think this is an Optimism contract that I was going to copy. Right, give me a second here. I'm going to copy the contract. So the way this app works, to provide some context, is you're an event organizer, okay, and people come to your event and you want to have an extremely like sleek check-in process, right? So previous to the event, your people got a burner card, and on this burner card is now an unlock membership. And so at the door, there's just people either with Androids or with iPhones, because we're going to push this out to both platforms. And the only thing that they need is actually the contract. So the contract address, and they need to put in the blockchain that it's on, because obviously we have also in that app multiple blockchains, not all 14, just so we're clear on this, but we have. And then you essentially go to continue and scanner, and then you have this like little UI, and then you're supposed to scan this. So please work. And yeah, it's actually on the card. So it verifies the contracts that are actually on the card. And if someone doesn't have the NFT, then obviously this is going to show it's a no-no, right? And because we received this really nice grant, the developer and I, we've been talking. The developer is actually called Karel, and he's from Estonia. He's the brother of a good friend of mine. And so we have been talking that we want to add some features to the UI that make it possible for projects to customize the UI. So, you know, if you want to have an image backdrop, you can do that. If you want to have a different color, you can do that. So the people who stand at the entrance with their phones scanning their cards for the memberships and or entry tickets, whichever it may be, they have an option to actually customize this and, you know, look the part, like have it look branded. Anyway, we probably soon need a lot of people to actually test this app on test flight and download it and confirm the usage, please. So just so you're aware, this is one of the requirements you need to fulfill to actually push an app out on the Apple's App Store. So yeah. When it's ready, I will let you know. Right now we're doing some troubleshooting because Base, surprisingly, but also maybe not with whatever is going on there right now, is actually the only chain that this is currently not working on. Every other chain we've implemented this is working on. So Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, and 2 others I forgot. But Base, this is not working on. And we changed the RPC and everything, and it's still not working. So this is, you know, if you guys have any ideas what this is about, let me know. But anyway, we're making progress. So now this is already on test flight. That was not the case last week. And it actually works. Yay!
Can you maybe check if the link that I put in the chat is the most updated DAO forum conversation about this? And if it is, maybe provide some updates to it. I couldn't find a more updated one in the list, but maybe I just missed it. But yeah, we need to give people a way to catch up on, because Sven is dying to know what you're talking about. Is that what you have your hand up for, Sven?
No, that is up from before, I think. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries. Yeah, cool. This is awesome.
I can do that. Good idea. We'll do that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, super excited about this. Glad that it's finally moving forward. So if you have an iPhone and you would like to participate, help us out, jump into that forum or hit Stella up somehow and get involved and figure out what you got to do. And yeah, she will put together some sort of info about it when it's ready and pass it along to everybody. I'm guessing Android's probably later down the road, Stella.
No, actually, Android was so much easier to develop. So that one is already, is already ready to be published on the Google Play Store. But yeah, we haven't published either yet because we need to figure out the base problem, right? That's the one. So Karel included today some logs. So the next time I'm testing this, we can actually check, like, it can help with the error analysis. I'm not that good with developer language, but I think it can help with analyzing where the error is coming from. So yeah, once we have that, we can actually push to the push another update to test flight, and I can send you guys the test flight link. Yeah, exactly, the binary code to me. And the other one is, but Julian, in my defense here, right? I've been blowing developers' minds who are coming from Web 2 on a regular basis for the last 2 weeks because I know more about Web 3 than they do. So I just taught the guy who's developing my new website how he can pull my Arweave articles from Arweave blockchain through Paragraph. And he was just mind blown. He was like, what? Your articles are on the blockchain? I'm like, yes. And you can just, and this is how you do it. So I sent him how to do it. I cannot do it myself, but I could tell him how to do it. And he did it. And his mind was completely blown. So, and also me and the whole AI developer thing. This is getting so out of hand. My ADD is, having a part.
Fun times. Well, glad that Stella is around to keep all these developers, on their toes because, no sleeping behind the keyboard when Stella's on the prowl. All right, let's keep trucking. We're getting close to the hour, and we've got a couple more updates. So real quick, there was one thing I wanted to share. I'm dropping in a couple of Discord links. They were some older chats that somebody posted in the DAO forum and nobody responded. They're like a month old. It happened right during the holidays probably or something like at the turn of the year. So I'm sure it was just everybody was quiet. But somebody was asking about WordPress plugins and something about embedding token ownership auths or something. I don't know. But I just wanted to call attention to those two forum posts and see if anybody thinks they might have some insight. It might be too late. It was a month ago, but I don't know. Just was scrolling through and saw those. But trucking along, we won't waste any time on that. Let's get to community updates. So Danny, I'm going to let Disky go first, real quick, just because their project's new. So Disky, if you have time and want to jump up and share a little bit about your project, you can screen share if you want to, or just talk about it. Tell us what's up.
I will. So I've been building BitClank. It started basically as a joke, so it's Figma Clanker. For the Farcaster users here, they will know what I mean. So basically what we did was we built a plugin for Figma that allowed users to deploy their design as a token. Then it evolved a bit, so what we did was we stored all the design data into the Clanker token metadata. And it evolved from there that I'm like, I want to build more. So I started building. Let me share my screen. Yep. You see my screen? There we go.
Yep.
And we started building what is essentially a Figma clone to begin with. And in 3 months I did this. And then now we're trying to focus on something similar to Figma, but being on-chain, have a lot of on-chain capabilities. That means deploying. Let's go into one of these files. My cat is biting me. My cat's just bit me. Sorry. As you can see, so the interface is quite similar to what Figma is. So you can design stuff here and do whatever, similar to Figma. But then you can say, okay, I want to deploy this this design as a token right away. So let's do this. Let's introduction. Let's go it on base, deploy it. So you can deploy stuff right away on the chain, and it saves all the data that's in the design inside a contract. So you can basically give it out as a community resource. so other people can fetch the contract and reload the design format. That's a bit slow at times. So that's the basis of the project, and we try to build a lot of on-chain capabilities in it, and that's how I landed on Unlock. Is I was basically searching for a way to create a subscription service. There we go. My cat is biting me again. I'm sorry. It's very annoying. There we go. Sorry. So as you can see now, it's deployed as a token, and it also included all the data into a contract. So if we take this, we go to Studio, or we go to, not Studio, but we go to Design. Whoop. So in here, it should be there. There we go, it's here already. So now the whole design is here. You can see all the node data. It's available for everybody, which is quite nice. And then you can recreate it wherever you want. So you can do it in Figma, you can do it in FigClank. Where is my FigClank here? You can actually take that node data and recreate the whole resource. Our goal is to be like this on-chain design system or design tooling that people can use to like verify their ownership. So because I deployed my design just now, I'm the owner and I can track it wherever I want. Even if somebody copies it, there is hidden watermark data inside of it with your credentials. Then furthermore, for instance, if you want to, the goal is also to build mini apps because that's hot. So if you want to say, like, let's build a mini app. So in the chat templates, we already have some mini app. Mini app templates ready for use. That's how a mini app looks on the Filecaster. You can build in here, or you can even go into AI, describe your mini app, and it will build a mini app design as a mini app. So it will give all the contexts, as you can see here.
Oh yeah, I cannot hold any longer. I'm so sorry. I need this. How can I get my little pause on this?
You can, well, I'll drop you, because we are not live yet. Well, what we are doing is doing alpha testing. We're gonna start soon, and I can drop you an Unlock pass. So as you can see here for Unlock, yeah, I will, so no problem. Cool. Tag me on Discord, so because I don't see who you are right now, because I'm screen sharing. As you can see here, so I integrated Unlock into like this nice.
This is amazing. I love this so much.
Oh, I think I think we lost you, Disky. Yeah, you're muted.
I think this could really work as to help the mini app creation that we were talking about, right?
Wait, let me. Hello.
Hey, can hear you again.
Yeah, my headset just died. Sorry.
No worries. We were just talking about how amazing this tool is and how we're going to onboard you into the Unlock community. So welcome.
Well, I basically onboarded myself, right? I was looking because we want to be on chain. I have subscriptions, or because I need to make money on this. Otherwise, it's crazy expensive to host all it. And I wanted to have these subscriptions on chain, but they also had to expire. And I'm really bad at writing contracts. So what I found were you guys, and it was amazing because it's everything I need.
That's exactly what Unlock is built for. This exact use case. So glad that you found us. How'd you come across Unlock? Were you just searching for solutions? Or where'd you find it?
Yeah, I was literally Googling it. So honestly, I don't know a lot about the protocol just yet. I'm like, okay, can I use a tool? What do they have? You have a great dashboard where I can easily change and upload these and do whatever. And then my backend is tracking it. So it happens every time you load it. I probably should cache this, but it tracks what kind of subscription you have, and then it allows it in here. the cool thing is people can also like transfer it, right? So if you want, like one of the things you can do, let's give an example. Let's say I'm building a design and I want to share it with somebody. I can share it. So it let's do a fake demo. I can share right away. So it takes the Nanar data from Farcaster and it will send me a Farcaster DM. But if that guy doesn't have a subscription, I can send him one, right? Or loan him one. So that's one of the things I want to build in with Unlock. It's like this temporary subscription I can buy for like 2 or 3 days and then send it to somebody when I invite him to my design. Also, inviting is real time, so it's similar to Figma. I'm going really fast because I want to show a lot in a short time. One of the things we're also doing, but it just broke today actually, is when you have a design, you can easily integrate it into Nanar directly. Nanar, if you don't know, they have Nanar Studio, which is an AI app builder. So I can give context to the AI right away from FigClank, and he will build it for me. So what it does, it transfers your design into HTML data and will create a prompt from it as well, and then you can build it. Problem is, it just broke. I'm sorry.
Too bad, but it's amazing.
Yeah,
when it works.
Broke like 4 hours ago because they changed how you log in, which is quite annoying. It's still work in progress. It still has a lot of bugs, but yeah, I'm quite happy with it. If you want to test it, please reach out and I'll send you what we call an alpha pass. It's a free one that you can't transfer, but we use it for testing.
Cool.
Count me in.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody who's listening, if you're interested, make sure you hit up Disky in the Discord. He's disky.eth. And get connected and help him out with testing out this amazing tool. I can tell that there's definitely several people in this call alone that are excited about this. So thank you so much for bringing this to the group.
I'll be happy to have you guys here as well, because I don't want to be Figma, but I need the basic tools from them and then like recreate them, and then and that's why I need you guys as well. Like, how can we bring this more on chain? Like, how can we make a difference with this tool? How can we be
awesome? Well, that is what Unlock is very specifically purpose built for. So we are here to support you in that journey. And in great classic DAO fashion, you can support us in our journey by providing these amazing tools for creators to use. We've talked about it in the first half of it, but just for updating you, our incentive program is it's a campaign for surfacing creative content. So we want to showcase, important tools like this that think outside the box, bring things on chain, increase sovereignty and agency, all that kind of stuff. This is right along what we want to incentivize. So, eventually there could be more collaborations where we drive.
It's just the beginning of what we can do together. Like, we started this 3 months ago. It's going very, very fast.
Yeah, that's what happens when you find product market fit, right? It just starts cooking. All right, I do want to be conscientious of time. I know several people have had to drop off already, but we are past the hour, so we need to wrap things up. We will circle back to Danny next week to get updates on the P2E Inferno. Excited. I'm on pins and needles to find out how the Call of Duty tournament went. Looking forward to that update next week. Thanks for dropping in, everybody. It's been fun. This has been a great DAO call. Glad that February is off with something good. I don't know. I ran out of analogies, but so we will see you guys next week. Stay tuned for the newsletter coming out to summarize all this. If you got a little bit overwhelmed with the sheer volume of exciting content, we will write it all down for you so you can peruse at your leisure. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, and see you next time.